I maintain that Streets of Rage 4 is one of the best beat-em-ups of all time. The Revivalist sequel was a genre masterclass and celebratory evolution of the Genesis classics, which made me all the more excited about Guard Crush's Absolum, a roguelite follow-up seemingly built from its DNA. SOR 4 fans will quickly recognize the precisely animated combat, the addictive combo score meter, and the responsive action and challenge layered now with infectious roguelite systems and an intricately scripted original fantasy narrative. Absolum plays even better than it looks, which is really saying something. But this high-quality standard does make some of its snags more noticeable. You wouldn't intuit them over the first 5 or 10 hours, but oh, how I hope they get addressed at some point. Regardless, I so enjoyed clearing my way through Absolum's sizable and highly replayable campaign that I pray for much more of it to come, either in the form of post-release content updates or paid DLC.
The Many Lovely Roads Through Talamh.
An explosive tutorial introduces you to Dark Elf Galandra and her companion Karl, a stout warrior with a blunderbuss. Hounded by attackers, they arrive at Uchawi's Hearth, a sanctuary in the land of Talamh, home to the Root Sisters, a kind of protectorate witch coven hunted by the Sun King Ozma. Fight through the early areas and you'll soon conscript a frog person mage named Brome and Cider, an amnesiac clockwork rogue. While their presentation implies some formal RPG class affiliation, all four are capable brawlers with different moves and unique arcana abilities. Speaking of presentation, Absolum's striking animated style departs from SOR 4 to deliver something dramatically darker. Each level practically breathes with a lavishly detailed hand-animated style, and hero and enemy models alike are loaded with characterful ticks and flourishes. The overall effect is further heightened by one of my favorite orchestral soundtracks of the year and a bustling roster of top-shelf voice talent, including Samantha Baird, aka Karlach in Baldur's Gate 3. In a manner reminiscent of Treasure's Sega Saturn classic Guardian Heroes, Absolum features forks in the road and emergent side quests. Essentially, players can opt for different paths to pursue new objectives and story beats, and each run lightly shuffles certain elements and enemy assortments around, further staving off that most repetitive quality of beat-em-ups.
A stylish build-crafting beat-em-up.
While Absolum's basic combat shares much in common with Guard Crush's preceding game, its roguelite nature adds much-needed complexity and creativity. Rituals act as boons that infuse magical effects into attacks, arcana and reactions, all of which smartly stack and synergize. Most of the 40 rituals are unlocked by Hearth NPCs with rare currencies, or after completing tasks, and each cleared in-game area procs a reward selection. This is usually a ritual, some gold, or crystals, which carry over between runs and can be spent to re-roll boons or pre-equip trinkets. Trinkets add additional effects or buff certain stats, and inspirations dropped from mini-bosses offer mechanical tweaks specific to each character. Mixing these basic building blocks hits that dynamic roguelite sweet spot where you're never quite crafting the same build every time. For instance, you might find one ritual that materializes throwable daggers when you deflect an attack, then an inspiration that triples the number of projectiles, and another ritual that adds piercing effects. Multiplying these ingredients with each character's quirks reveals Absolum's inherent depth, though there's arguably greater emphasis on skillful combat mastery and intuitive spacing. Even the most broken build won't carry a bad run.
A word about Absolum's curious co-op.
While the game features both couch and online co-op, I'm confused as to why it restricts a squad to only 2 players. The active perspective is somewhat zoomed in, which can prompt a weird out-of-bounds effect during co-op, but simultaneous 4-player action would be a stronger sell. With hired AI companions, you'll occasionally find 4 heroes fighting on the screen at once anyway, so why can't those be co-op partners instead? Ultimately, this proved irrelevant for one key reason. I think Absolum works better as a single-player game. Teammates don't share gold, there's no discrete trading system, and online randos can screw up a build by buying an item in a shop right out from under you. Co-op roguelites are rare, and I'm often first in line to support them, but this one might function best as a solo venture.
What do I do with all of these seeds?
A full Absolum run with a true ending takes the better part of an hour, time which led me to analyze how some of its mechanics don't work as intended. For one, I wish the characters had a richer moveset, especially coming off of Streets of Rage 4's somewhat increased technical depth. A basic attack can connect to a heavy hit, but there's only a single combo per hero, and they don't alternate via timed button presses. There's no preset charge attack or different grapples, and I found most unlocked arcana materially worse than the starter varieties. Hub vendors inspire the early game where you're constantly unlocking buffs, arcana, and new rituals, but the full collection peters out 8 or 10 hours in. At that point, you're amassing gobs of upgrade currency and score XP with absolutely nothing to buy, which is a baffling bit of design. Crystals can at least be hoarded to blow on trinkets in the hub, but then they're gone, and need to be refarmed if you want another boosted run. All that excellent lore and flavor, it's not collected anywhere for review, which risks sapping the energy from some of Absolum's dramatic story reveals if you've forgotten names or events. Take special care that a co-op partner doesn't skip a key piece of dialogue if you're invested in the plot. Furthermore, the progressive structure of the game causes repeat scenes to wear thin, and certain fun encounters and quests are one and done. These nitpicks add up over time, and while they didn't detract from my genuine enjoyment of the game, proved more apparent with its inherently repetitive nature. The general rarity of mounts makes their related rituals feel like a waste, the luck stat never seemed impactful, and the interact input picks up or throws weapons, which can get clumsy in a busy encounter. I also expected some arcade arena mode like the one from the Mr. X Nightmare DLC, which otherwise serves as an inspiration for some of Absolum's basic framework.
There's very, very few games on Absolum's level.
In a lesser game, these quibbles would pose more of an obstacle, but Absolum is truly something special. A confidently crafted world, a gorgeously animated aesthetic, some fascinating characters, and the killer beat-em-up structure effectively patch over these flaws. I'm nearly 50 hours into the game and still firing it up for a quick run whenever I can. Taking any single playthrough as an example, Absolum is a top-tier beat-em-up packed with personality and an addictive gameplay loop. A specific and seemingly optional challenge threshold ramps up the difficulty at will, and making it through to the true finale is a satisfying achievement, even with its frustrating unlock mechanic. With Absolum, Guard Crush's return pairing with Dotemu and new collaboration with Supermonks has yielded meaningfully rich results. If Hades has completely spoiled you for aesthetically beautiful roguelites, there's very little else in Absolum's class to compare.